Haven't done one of these for a while. Um, and by one of these, I mean going live on my phone. It took me probably 20 minutes just to figure out how to do this. Um, say, I mean, for some people, it's probably a glorious day. And, maybe to an extent justified. Uh, for others, like myself, it's deflating. Um, and what we're talking about, whether you're watching live uh, or after the fact, we're talking about AEW has terminated the contract with effect and cause. Um, I've received one of those before. Never a fun thing. They've terminated the contract of CM Punk. They fired him, and I want to talk about a few things here. I apologize if you're watching on a computer and there's empty spaces to the side of me. I haven't done it on a cell phone in well over a year, so this is new. Um, kind of. I just found out I've been gone all day. I got a message from Jer, Dark Match Drive, said bye bye Punk. And then I pulled up Twitter quickly and seen first thing I seen was the press release. Um, I want to talk about a few things. I'm not going to get over what happened, what didn't happen. We all know what happened last year. Both sides were at fault. Both sides got suspended. You can be the biggest Young Bucks or Elite fan in the world, but the fact is they have caused issues too. That being said, they're EVPs. It's not about them right now. It's about CM Punk, and I'm a huge. Hey, you're at Nickelback. I'll be at Guns N' Roses tomorrow. So, um, Nickelback is Nickelback's better than people give it credit for live. At least it was a decade ago. I don't know about now. Um, if you're a CM Punk fan, you can hate the Elite all you want. I actually kind of like Kenny Omega. Um, I don't care at all for the Young Bucks, but that's not what this is about. They didn't get into a fight at all. In fact, one of the things that hasn't been talked about very much is Sean Ross Sapp reported that CM Punk and the Young Bucks, prior to what happened at All In, were in the same vicinity together, and there was no issues. So lo and behold, there's another set of issues. Um, what happened? Jack Perry and Hook do I guess, a pre-show match, and Jack Perry references on cam, much in the same way CM Punk did to Hangman. Not approved. Go cry me a river about the glass spot. Which, I think the number one thing you need to understand about Phil Brooks, and I don't know the guy, I'll never talk to him, is he's a guy that doesn't take shit. That being said, much like myself, I don't take shit, but we tend to cause some of it at times, and sometimes that's okay, and other times that's not. I can tell you right now, there's most of the people that watch this channel watch for horror, and there's people in our horror community that'll probably never associate with me again because of some of my takes or the way I've handled certain things, and that's fine because I won't associate with them either. And it's fine that way. Rather than there being this big war of words or whatever, it's done, and everybody went their separate ways. And as much as I'm a CM Punk fan, in terms of AEW moving forward, do I think that it'll be a little better in the locker room? Yeah, I do. But that's not going to change the fact that Sammy, on, 3 different occasions has gotten into shit. Eddie, on 2 different occasions, has gotten into shit. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa have both gotten into shit. Um, uh, there are other people too. I don't have the names off the top of my head. The way that Brawl Out was handled, the way that a lot of what has gone on since CM Punk returned to AEW has been handled is just dog shit. I don't care how long you've been in the wrestling business. If you don't solve your issues with people that you have to still be in the vicinity with, or people that are with them, you know, it's like the Titanic. You're going to fucking hit the iceberg if you're not paying attention. So the company does need to wear some of this too. But at the end of the day, it's 2023, and you can't go fighting anybody that you want. There's tons of people that I've definitely had the urge to punch in the face, but then I would be arrested for assault. That does my family no good or my kids any good. So CM Punk is done with AEW. It's deflating. I won't be watching anytime soon, and that's not like AEW is the only one in the wrong. Punk's got to wear some of this too. He just does. I'm a huge Punk fan. He's my second favorite wrestler of all time, right behind Bret Hart. Both had, obviously, multiple bad endings to their tenure in multiple companies, which is not great. But there's some shitty things. Apologies for the wind, too. I don't know how well you guys hear that or not. There's some shitty things that are going on and have been going on all week. I didn't think he was going to get fired, and I'm curious why wait till Saturday, the Saturday of Collision. Did you not want people asking for refunds? Because that's a thing. If you've been watching on Twitter, and it's something that I've backed people up on too. Like, if I was to go to AEW Collision, then, that would take, I don't mean in Chicago, even the one in Toronto, that would have been, could we have done it? Yeah, but it would have crippled us financially. And there's people that go to these things understanding that they're investing all their resources to go and do that. So to let someone know the day of, and you can spare me the investigation nonsense because Eric Bischoff had it right from the beginning, and not that Eric Bischoff's squeaky clean, but if Tony Khan witnessed it all, big ifs, we don't know, then there was no reason to fucking wait till Friday. I myself said this week, just put a fucking end to it already. Like, you can't expect everything to just go smoothly. Trey, I seen your comment. That was fine, man. Again, I haven't done this on cell phone in a long time. I'm trying to read the comments. It's kind of weird how they show up on the screen. But, like, there's so many different variables to consider in this thing. And, like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. CM Punk is fired from AEW. It's deflating for me. And I know it's deflating for CM Punk fans. Some that are rational, some that are not even close to rational. That being said, if you're a fan of the Elite, and usually it's the Elite fans, or usually it's the CM Punk fans that are attacking one side or the other, please just remember that while you might not agree with the actions of Phil Brooks, and I don't, I just don't. It's 2023, you can't solve shit physically. You can't. We're living in a society that cancels people left and right. And I appreciate CM Punk's don't take shit attitude, but there's got to be a line somewhere. Even if he was in the right. Was he antagonized? You fucking bet he was. We witnessed it at AEW All In. You still have to not do that. And frankly, the fact that they even sent him out there and allowed him to go out at All In after all that happened in front of Tony Khan does make me question their motives there. That's not a great look for the company, nor was the travel nonsense that went down. But I just ask people, if you're a fan of the Elite, that's fine. If you're a fan of CM Punk, that's fine. But don't go attacking the other side, guys and gals. It doesn't do anybody any good. If you're shitting on someone because they're not going to get to see their favorite professional wrestler anymore, then, maybe they poked at you or egged you on. That's not how you do things. You got to remember, at least like for a guy like me, and for a lot of other people, professional wrestling, and I do say professional wrestling with air quotes, um, fandom, Star Wars, horror movies, even sports. A lot of people use this as a form of escapism. People work all week, they bust their asses off all week, and then when they go home, in Collision's case, on a Saturday night, they just want to sit down and be entertained, you know? And I think there's people out there that are taking shots at others for no apparent reason whatsoever other than to whip your dick out and show how big it is. And again, it's 2023. Let's grow up a little. Um, you might not have liked CM Punk. You might think he deserved to get fired. Hell, I even sit here and go, yeah, he might have deserved that a bit. But there are others that deserved punishment too, not just from this scenario, but past situations. Um, I do believe that at the end of the day, you shouldn't shit on someone else, because we talked about it this week on an earlier stream. We did a Halloween stream where Tommy, Matt, and I ranted, mainly me as usual, but ranted about how if you're gonna shit all over someone liking a movie that you don't, or liking a TV show that you don't, it's fine to shit over the product. That's your right as a consumer. But if you are shitting on other people who just use it as a form of escapism or a form of fandom, just remember that for some people, this is all they have. For some people, their Wednesday night or their Saturday night. I'm not one of them. You know, I'm incredibly blessed. I have 3 incredible kids. At the end of the day, life moves on for me. I'm deflated and I'm not going to watch anytime soon. But there are people out there that don't have that, and it's a form of escapism for them. So when you shit on them and put them down in that way, that doesn't make you cool. You know, it doesn't make you the biggest Young Bucks or Elite fan or CM Punk fan in the world. There are people that are going to take this announcement today and weaponize it against others instead of just celebrating the fact the guy you don't want in the company is gone. That happens. It shouldn't, but it does. I see some of your questions. I'll get to them in a second. I can't be on too long. We'll go for about 10 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, for some people, it's all they have. You know, some people live to watch racing on Sundays or Saturdays, whenever F1 is. Some people like to go to live concerts. Some people love to take trips. Some people love anime. My point is, everybody has their thing. And you don't have to be on the same page. But the second you become a shit human being towards someone else just because their opinion doesn't line up with your own, I think you need to have a long look in the mirror. It was bound to happen. Nothing was resolved. You can't have five grown-ass men get into a huge brawl backstage at All In and All Out, pardon me, suspend both parties, and there was wrongdoing on both sides, hence why everybody remained with the company. But it was never cleared up. And I'm not one of those people that are saying they had to work together, they needed to do a program together. It would have been nice to see, and frankly, it left a ton of money on the table for AEW because you want to take advantage of those opportunities. But not only did they not get to a point where they could work together, they never once sat down in the same room. And as far as I know, the thing at All In was not in the same room. It was just a passing moment. They happened to be in the same vicinity. But, like, you never sat all parties down. Communication, in my experience, is a huge key to life. And I don't know all. I'm far from that. But if you don't communicate, then things will head south in a hurry. and they didn't communicate. They didn't communicate at all, and like none of them. And Punk says he wanted to, whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. Um, but you had five guys physically harm one another. You know, take whatever side of the story you want, it doesn't matter. But they physically harmed one another. And then you had the people that were on obviously the elite side who've been there for years. Be like if I got a job at FedEx and Matt Whitfield here was there for a long time before I got there. It doesn't matter how well I'm known from somewhere else. I'm coming into his space. So if you're going to piss off the people that are in that space, then you're going to get backlash. It's that simple. So I'm just scrolling through the chat. It's really hard to read. The font size is like 2 tomorrow in Chicago. Well, I won't be watching, but wasn't going to be anyway, to be clear. It's a terrible card, in my opinion. It'll probably be hostile. Probably won't be the most hostile because he's a controversial figure. But yeah, you gave people, 24 hours notice. People that have traveled worldwide that can't rebook their hotel rooms, can't get a refund on tickets that they spent tons of money on. That side of things is shady from AEW, and as long as the bit about Tony Khan seeing the whole thing is true. If he didn't, then obviously that changes things a little bit. If he did, then he's known from the get-go. And it's unfortunate that they waited till this time. I do wonder, though, and I speculated about this with Randy, who appears on our channel. Did they ask him to come out to an event this weekend, maybe drop the title or lose a match or do whatever in the match and then serve your suspension in order to save face a bit? And I could totally see Phil Brooks, the person, saying, yeah, that's not happening. So it is what it is. Good Real Hunting says, I like Omega, but he still did not do things correctly. Yeah, there's blame on all sides here, man. Like the behind the scenes stuff is not going to stop. It just won't be as well publicized, but it'll come out. Excited to check out Collision. I'm curious if the Elite being there will boost ratings. Well, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, is how much the ratings dip or don't dip. Trey says, I think Jack Perry should be fired too. I mean, he's suspended. I think he's only had like one other thing happen at a convention. So I don't know if I agree with that, even though I don't like the guy. Tony Khan dropped the ball. He did. But there's blame to wear on all sides. So Vince and Triple H wouldn't let that fly. Well, there's the other side of this where CM Punk randomly shows up to Raw. I get it. He was on a plane with people with talent he didn't expect to run into necessarily, but he still showed up there and then went out of his way to go speak to Triple H. And I don't know if that looks the greatest right now either, because it's like, did you know this was coming? Did you know you were going to start shit again? Wayne Gotke, CM Punk is immensely talented, but he has always been his own worst enemy, both in WWE and AEW. Yeah, I can't really object to that, man. Shadow says, tomorrow's pay-per-view looks like a house show. I agree. I'm not one of those guys that's going to give a gold star to everything someone does. It's just not me. You guys know that if you've been watching the channel long enough. By the way, happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a good long weekend. Yeah, so there you have it. CM Punk has been fired from AEW. Celebrate it if you want. Be upset about it if you want. But don't take it out on other people. It would make you a shit person, and you don't want to be that. There's enough of that in the world in 2023. And I get it. Like, I really do get it. I wish things were handled differently. I think everybody wishes there was a different ending. But it is what it is. What's next? Sorry, what's next before I get out of here? For AEW, I imagine it's Adam Copeland, Edge, who probably ends up becoming the anchor of that Collision show. I'm not sure how long Collision's going to last. I think we're going to find out what his impact is on that show over the next 5 or 6 weeks. As for CM Punk, the dude is 44 years old. He honestly can get acting jobs. He's already proven that. So money's not really an issue. He also doesn't live a very rich lifestyle by any means. He doesn't live like he's made millions. So for Punk fans, I think you want to know going into a match that that's going to be it. Nobody wanted Royal Rumble 2014 to be it. And if Punk versus Joe is his last match, I'll take it, but I think people would rather prepare for the end than just have it happen. But often we don't get that luxury. So I don't know if CM Punk goes to WWE. Vince McMahon's still there, so. But there's a parent company now, and who knows? Frankly, I think the dude just should do what makes him happy, because it clearly wasn't being there. And same with AEW. For Young Bucks fans, I'm happy you guys have the platform that you do. I wish it worked out better for our Punk guy. It's just deflating. So, to everybody out there, I get it. Feel your pain. I know and just don't be a shit human being to others. Should really be the number one lesson learned from this. Have a great long weekend.